Friday project. So bear with me here while I make sure all of our streams are connected, and we will get this show on the road. So hang on there. I think we're all set. So everyone, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or let me know, a quick shout out so I know that you can hear me. And then we will get going. Great, I've got my notification that came up on my phone, so it looks like we're good to go. So I'm going to jump in right now. There we are. It's morning where we are here in Redwood City, California. I'm sitting here with my beautiful, some of my beautiful birthday flowers. These were from Donna Simpson. Thank you, Donna. You always send such beautiful things. These hydrangeas, one of my favorites here. And then from Melanie, this really beautiful greenery here. I love it so much. So I thought I'd surround myself with some flowers today, but I really, I loved them. These I'm actually going to put down over here on this little side table, because if I know me, they'll end up on the floor. So I'm going to move that down. So bear with me here just a second. I'm going to put them right there so I don't knock them over and make a mess. So I wanted to say, and I posted in the bead table group, but I also wanted to give a big thank you to everyone. Gosh, you know, I was off yesterday, and as you know, it felt like a national holiday from all of the all of the wonderful responses and things that I got from everybody. But thank you so much for all of your good wishes and your warm thoughts for my birthday. So thank you. It was really, gosh, it was overwhelming. So thank you so much. 54, my 54th year has started with a bang. So I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate you, and I appreciate this community. So as you know, people are asking about the air. Air's good. It was a beautiful sunny day yesterday and today, so it looks like the smoke, at least in California, is clearing some. Let's think good thoughts for this fall. October is traditionally the most beautiful month here in the Bay Area, especially in San Francisco. We call that San Francisco's summer. So let's hope that we can get all of these fires under control, and that we don't have a repeat of past Octobers where it really has been a very dangerous fire season. So we're going to think good thoughts for the rest of this year. But things are getting slowly but surely under control. So that's that story. Also, I wanted to let everyone know, I know that a lot of you are new to watching these broadcasts. We broadcast live on our Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. And we do upload some videos that aren't live, right? Like Brittany does videos and stuff like that, right? So they're not quite as off the cuff or long or as chatty, perhaps. But these live videos, you can always jump in and kind of fast forward through the part where I say good morning and all that, and kind of get to the meat of the, as it were, of the project. And these videos are meant to be community builders, right? So this isn't just this is what I'm doing today, and this is the project, and doing that. It's a little more organic. So I hope that floats your boat. If it doesn't, I'm sorry, you can use that fast forward feature and kind of jump in and around. We also have a lot of great visuals right on our home page on our website at beadshop.com. I'm going to click over on it. I usually do that at the end, but I'll do it again here at the beginning. You can go right on to beadshop.com and you can sign up for the newsletter and do all kinds of great stuff. And we have just a ton of projects, right? So you can find all of those great projects there as well. And if you're watching this later on YouTube and you see right below my screen, there's a little thumbs up. If you go ahead and click that thumbs up, it would be great. It helps other people find these videos. So I really, really appreciate that. We all do here at Bead Shop. So let's get into it, shall we? This project today, okay. Mel says, "Could I see the greenery again?" Yes, it's here. We go. It's right here. Look at how beautiful it is. It is perfect, and it came with a big giant balloon, and it's delightful. I adore it. So, thank you ever so. It's perfect. You guys from across the miles, you guys really did it up. So seriously, I mean, it was just overwhelming. So in the best way possible. So thank you ever so. So this project, and I'm going to put these on, I'll show you them up close, but this project today has a kit. So if you're watching this today live on Friday, September 18th, this is the Crystal Cascade Earring kit that I made for my birthday week. I mean, I don't know. We probably went overboard. We did so much stuff, and we still have 2 more. We have something coming up tomorrow and on Sunday. I don't know. Maybe we just went crazy. But, you know, I just thought it was kind of a fun way to, I don't know, celebrate with all of you all too. So this is the Cascade Crystal Earring, and I'll talk a little bit about what's in the kit. As of now, and I made a ton. I made just a ton of them. So there's a lot in stock right now. If in a few days you're watching this later and on the replay and stuff like that and they're not in, I have created another little kind of palette here. And this earring is so easy, kids, right? The holidays, whether we like it or not, are coming up, okay? And so this is another great stash diver, right? You go into your stash and you kind of jumped in and you can pull things, and I'll show you how to put this together. It's always a showstopper, and it's very easy to make, okay? So let's just jump in here and take a look. I'm just rearranging my screens so I can see all of the comments as I'm working. So thank you here for bearing with me. All right, look at how nice this green looks too. It kind of matches my purple. It's good. It's a good color story today. So let's let me take this earring off and let's go and look and see what's on the bead board. Okay. So, Lorraine's asking what's coming up for tomorrow. Lorraine, you are just going to have to open that newsletter. I cannot tell you. If I did, I would have to just, I don't know what they say. You know, if I tell you, I'm going to have to keep it a secret. So you'll see tomorrow in the newsletter. But it's fun. Saturday and Sunday kind of go together. So it's going to be kind of cool, I think. So Cindy's asking, or Cindy's saying she has hordes of Swarovski crystals, and she has some that are vintage. Cindy, I do too. I have been hoarding Swarovski crystals since I started cutting apart my grand's necklaces when I was little, right? In the 50s and 60s, right, Swarovski and Preciosa crystals, you know, that was all the rage, right? If your grandmother or mother didn't have kind of a crystal choker, right, then she wasn't dressed for the evening, I think. And so I was a big fan of Grand's necklaces, right? So I, of course, as a kid, started cutting those suckers up. I still have them because I would restring them for her, and they're, guess what they're probably still restrung on? Dental floss. Yes, that's right. I am ashamed, but not really. Someday I'll redo them, right? But I love restoring those old necklaces so much. And I'll share with you, I got kind of a special Prezi from Emily, she restored some vintage beads for me that are delicious, right? They're so good. I'll bring it in next week so you can see it. You guys will love it. Audrey's asking, are the earrings heavy on the ear? They look light. They are super light, actually, because the chain, they're kind of light and airy. And what comes in the kit, let's look at the kit first, and then I'll show you what I've pulled, okay? Yeah, Cindy's also saying she used to troll antique stores looking for vintage Swarovski to cut up. So much fun to find. They are so much fun. You know, when I was a teen back in the 80s, we had a couple of really good thrift stores in Gilroy where I grew up. And the ladies were always so nice. And they were like, Katie, we've got, especially the ladies over at the Salvation Army, they'd be like, Katie, we've just got some old, you know, jewelry. Because I was the only person then who ever wanted any of that stuff. And so sometimes they'd save me something special, which was cool. So it was fun. So I've got a lot of that stuff too that I've cut up. These are really special, though. The Swarovski that I put in here, they are a special bead, and they have a fairly big hole, larger than usual, right? From these, it was kind of a special edition. You can see how it fits on my awl right here. So I chose for these some components that I thought went nicely. These are ear wires. Right here, and that little ear wire has a ball on the end, which I think is just super, super pretty. And oh my gosh, look what Chris, you're crazy.
Mailman.
He's another, you guys. Oh wait, no, this is for you. You guys, come on, here's another grouping. Come on, I spent an hour last night opening my cards, and I'm going to spend another hour today. Oh, you crazy kids. You guys, that really, this COVID birthday has been incredible. Anyway, so back to this. These head pins I really, really love, and they're a little bit of a heavier gauge, and so they fit really perfectly on these crystals. And I chose the antique silver because I thought it looked good with my graying hair. So this was totally, I'm like, I'm going to wear the heck out of these earrings, so I'm going to choose what I like, right? So the colors, I think the colors really, really go together. And then I grabbed, this is an ear wire that we don't carry, right? But I think, and I did mean a dot head pin. What did I say? Did I say an eye pin? I don't know what I said, but I did this head pin. Sorry, I may have misspoke. This ear wire I really love, and we may start carrying them. I love the kind of streamlined shape on the front, right? And so the way that this actually hangs, and it's kind of hard to see, but I'll hold it in my hand. Sorry, I've got pen on my hand. I was writing on baggies just before I got on the air, so I apologize for that. So so you can see it just looks like a nice streamlined line, and then it goes into the chain, and then these little crystals cascade on them. Okay, so and then the ball head pins, I think, add a really nice finish to it. Okay, so the chain that I chose the circle back chain, and in the kit, so this is what you get. You get the 8 ball head pins right here. You get the 8 variety of 8 Swarovskis, crystal blue shade, I think this is, tanzanite, and then the other one's listed in the kit. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on this. I think it's lilac shadow. I think this one is. They're just incredible. So you get those 8 beads, and then you get a pair of the ear wires as well. Okay, so and the way that they go together, and you can see, I'm going to get a little tighter on here so you can see it, right? And these are great for a holiday earring, for a little bit of holiday sparkle, or they're just light, easy to wear. And it all comes assembled. So when you get your kit, just grab your pliers, put it together, put them on, and make yourself look fabulous, right? That was my goal for this. So you can see, when you get them, what I want you to do is, you can cut this chain in half. And there's an inch, there's plenty. So if you want a little more of a drop chain, you can do that. Lilac Shadow, thanks, Drea. You can have a little more of a drop here, right? And have a little more chain exposed, right? And so, you can kind of adapt it. So you've got plenty of chain there. So what I did was, I did the loop, and first I made all of these components, right? I put them on the head pins, bent them, and you're going to see me do that again with this other grouping here. I bent them, made the loop, right? So I had them all ready to go as components. And then the way I stack them, and you can see on this one over here on my left, the Lilac Shadow goes on the bottom. Then in the next ring, one Tanzanite on this right side of the chain. The next one, the blue shade, goes here on the left side of the next link. And then this one, I think it twisted a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. So you can see this one also goes on the next one up. Maybe I skipped one, and then it goes on the next one there. So that one goes next, and then there's just one chain link left. And the way that these ear wires open, and I'm glad you love them. I love them too. And so, and judging from your feedback right now, just in the comments, you guys dig them. So I think we'll be adding them. I really like them. The way they open is, I just open it up, and there's a little, you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little dot. Let me see if I can get it into focus. There we go. There's a little dot, not a dot, but a little divot, a little depression right there. Okay, so you put your chain on, right, when you're all complete with your earring. You'll put it on. And then as you close it, you kind of push that little end right up next to the little depression, and it closes really nicely. Okay, and so you can see how, and I'm going to put it on my awl, you can see how it looks on the front of the ear. Okay, just like that. And they come in all the different finishes, in the antique brass, the antique, they come in all of them. So I think we'll be able to get them in all of our regular finishes, right? And it's cool. It would look good, honestly, you guys, with just like a briolette dangling from it, right? You could just dangle a drop, right? They'd look really good. They'd be really economical for just, like fast holiday earrings, especially if you do holiday shows. I know we're not really doing many holiday shows in person, but a lot of people are doing trunk shows and stuff online, and these would be really, really economical and eye-catching, right, to wear. And so that's how it works, okay? And you could get multiple strands of chain. This loop is big, and it hangs low, not too low on the ear, but let me get up close and personal with you. Let's see, here's my ear, and then here, and they're made, it's the same. If you like our lever back earrings and can wear our lever backs well, they're the same material, so they're silver plated and gold plated metal. So you can see here, it does have a little bit of a drop, but I think they look pretty good. I like them a lot. Okay, so let's go back to what we've got here. So that's how they go together, right? You get your kit, you make your drops, you cut your chain in half, and then you layer your drops up, and then you just decide how long of a chain drop you want to be before your beads start, and that's it. You're ready to go. Done and done, right? So I'm going to open this up, take this chain out, close it up. So that's it. So this Cascade earring style, you guys, and they are nickel free. They're nickel free. They're easy on the ear. They're really great. There was a question earlier about making head pins and ear wires out of sterling wire. And yes, I do that a lot in kind of my metalsmithing work. But I also use these plated pins a lot, plated in brass, in copper, and in the silver. We've been carrying these since we were a brick and mortar store. Really, we've been using this same supplier, and the plating on these is extremely durable, and I like them. I too am a bit of a metals snob, so it took me a little bit of time to go, oh, am I going to use plated stuff? But I think especially if you're selling, and it just depends on, you know, who your customer is, where your market is. But it also allows you to make some really, what do I want to say, visually stunning, you know, stunners, right? Without breaking the bank either, right? So, you know, you pick and choose whatever you dig, you know, you do you, right? But these, I think you'll be really, really happy with, and they're not super expensive, so you can try it out and see if it works for you. And you could also add some beads into your stash as well. Like I said, these earrings are pretty light, so you could add like little pearls or more little crystals from your own stash, 3 or 4 millimeter fire polish, whatever. You could do it. Okay, so there's that for you. Okay, so let me move these aside. So that's what you get in this little kit, and it comes in a cute little, I chose this pretty bronze organza bag that they go in, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. But I'm going to make some for you with a few different pieces, and I've made a list. I'll flash the list again, or I'll flash the list again later. Okay, and I've chosen some things that are kind of staples here from Bead Shop, and any small beads, right? So you could plug in your own colors into this quote unquote recipe, right? So I'm going to use some 4 millimeter beads, the 4 millimeter, specifically 4 millimeter matte brown iris. Some 5 millimeter rondelles, right? I'm using them in the avocado with Picasso finish. I'm going to use the heart leaf. Now, it took me a while to come up with using the heart leaf. I was so like pigeonholed into using drops, right? I'm like, it's got to be a drop. It's got to be a drop. So I was looking at briolets and stuff. And like, no, I want something that has the hole going north to south, not east to west, right? I don't want to have to briolet wrap it. And I was walking around and I'm all, oh, the leaves. The leaves are perfect, and it's perfect for an autumn earring, so I'm using those. And so next I've got the 11-4221 to kind of make this look like the little ball head pin. I'll show you that. The Simplicity chain, which is a little smaller than Circle Back, and I'll show you how that works. I did grab some of this Teardrop Bauble antique brass chain. I'll show you that in a second because I think it'll really add to the earring. Some head pins in antique brass, and then some lever back ear wires also in antique brass. Janice has also said about all of these findings, and I just wanted to read it off for you, for people who are who might be watching this later and don't see the chat or whatever. Janice says these findings, and also these here are lever backs, they are electroplated, nickel free. There is a protective coating for allergies. They are all plated over hypoallergenic brass, and I think you should really like the quality of those, right? Okay, so let me put these aside. So you can see I pulled all of those items that I read off before. I'm actually going to take them out of these the triangles are too constrictive for me today. I don't want to be constricted. And I'm going to put that there. So here's my 4mm. Here are these avocado. This was from I think our latest launch. So beautiful, right? Here, I'm just going to throw them on the board. Here's that teardrop bauble. Some of you guys have used this before. We use it a lot. We used to sell it by the foot. It's a little spendy because, I mean, look, it's a lot of labor to put this chain together. So we're now selling it by the half foot, by the 6-inch piece. And so it makes it a little, I don't know, a little more accessible for everyone. It's not so expensive. And what I love about these is that each little chain link has 2 of the baubles in it. So in order to free that link, like if you wanted that link, the bauble on the link, you would cut the link in between. I'm cutting it 1 on each side here, being very careful not to hit myself in the eye when I do this. So you can get, and I'm just, I know this is a favorite of JP too, right? She loves these. Where's my awl? I can't take a step without my awl. Seriously, where did it go? I'm gonna have to grab the other one. Oh, it's in my thing. I couldn't see it here, in my tray. So you can see when you cut it, you have teardrop bauble, this soldered link that has the 2 baubles on it, and then you have 2 just plain baubles right here. Okay, so you can use all of these guys, right? And so, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a bunch of components first, right? And then I'm going to see how they look on the chain. Where's my ear wires? Here they are. These, I got the smaller ear wires because the simplicity, yeah, Hilda, I'm shocked. Kate's using a green pellet. What a surprise, right? Here is the simplicity chain. So it's a little finer than the circle back. Can you see that? That's a circle. You could use circle back too, but I thought I would show something a little bit finer as well. So I'm going to put this here, and I thought that these 1.5-inch head pins are a little thinner, so they'll go into this chain. Okay, so I thought also to make it look like those ball head pins, we need to get those head pins into, you guys. I just love the way they look. Let me just do this, and this, and this. So here's my 11-aught, right? So it kind of looks like a little ball on the end. And I'm going to put a rondelle. And in the package of head pins, I think you get 20. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm going to divide them up so I don't use too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to fill these up. So let's go ahead and use the leaves because that's going to be my anchor. Right? Remember how this was like the Wire Olympics when I did this during deep COVID, deep shelter in place. So there's 3. I might put 2 leaves. I pulled 4 of them, so I'm going to do that. I'll get those. So here's 5. And I don't have to put these little ends on all of them, but I really like the way that they look. And I don't have to use all 10 head pins either. So let's see. 2, 4, 5. So one of these is going to be the anchor. I need another one of these. Okay, so maybe that's it for now. I'm going to see how those look. All right, and I'm going to, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so let me go into Kate production mode. I'm not going to go over, Carlos is saying makes great fishing lures. That is correct. It is true. You have no idea. When we had our brick and mortar store in Palo Alto, we had a lot of guys come in who were fly tiers, and they would tie their flies with beads. So that is definitely true. So I'm going to go at Kate speed here and cut all of this off quickly, right? Yeah, daisy spacers would look good. Yeah, Carlo, I guess that you were a guy. I guessed that part. But I am sure that you have people in your life that will love earrings as well. So here we go. And you can go right on to Bead Shop and look at our tutorials, look at our skill builders, and you'll see there's several skill builders on doing the rosary loops that are perfect for the earrings. But again, I'm going at Kate speed, turning these loops. Notice how I use my wire cutters, and as I cut them, I was cutting them all, you know, trying to be really even as I cut, right? And so I'm going up maybe at about, for these pliers, about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch up on the loop of the head of this round nose plier. And you just walk that wire through, and you'll have nice closed loops, and then we're going to open them up and add them to our chain. And again, we have a bunch of tutorials that I've done previously on making these loops, right? So practice makes perfect. If you go to our YouTube channel and you look at the Kate's Creative Connections playlist that I made, you'll see the Wire Olympics week. That's when I did the looping too. So that's a really good way to see how these are done, also to view that one. Okay, so now I've got these done, and I'm going to give myself a couple more of these. Again, careful not to hit yourself in the head. I'm going to free a couple more of these links. So maybe I have 1, 2, and I had a third one here, I thought. Is it there? No, I'll just cut another one, because I think I want 3 of these. Okay, there we go. Okay, done and done. All right, so now I'm gonna start at the bottom of this chain. I'm not gonna even cut it yet, because I don't know what I'm doing yet with this design, right? So I'm going to use my bent chain, and I'm just going to lift that loop up. Lift it, not out, but up. Put that on. Close it up. Okay? And, well, I am going to cut this chain because I had an idea. So I'm going to cut about 1 inch-ish. That might be just a bit more. I wanted to see, since these teardrop baubles have such a big loop on them, I want to see how they look. Look at that, just strung on the chain, right? So let me see how this looks. So I'm going to go with maybe one of those. So I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. These 5mm rondelles. I can't tell, I closed this loop so well, good job Richburg, that I can't tell which side I open. Come on, it's this side. It was eluding me. So as I put these on, since this chain link, can you see, is a little smaller, right? So I would skip a couple of links here to put it just a little bit higher, right? Whereas with the circle back chain, I have them in the link one after the other. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put on now on the other side of, so the chain link, when you're putting it on, right, you either put it on the left side. You can see here, this chain is so small so it's hard to see. The left side here, right here. So on this chain link, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to put it on this one, and I'm going to put it on the right side of the link here, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's that. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to scoop that link from the right. There we go. And close it up. The bent chain nose really makes it easy for you to open and close these loops. Like I always say, you guys, when I am making loops and closing them on chain, your links are either open or they're closed. Links aren't almost closed, because if they're almost closed, they're open and they will fall off your chain. So really practice opening and closing your loops so they are nice and tight and not going to fall off. So I really dig how this bauble looks here, but not so much higher up. So goodbye, teardrop bauble there. But I could add, lay down there. I could add with some jump rings, the little baubles on their own. This is, I think these are our oval jump rings. Of course I used something super small today, right? So bear with me here a second while I pull these apart. But our 4mm, I think these are our 4mm oval jump rings in antique brass. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to scoop up one of these and I'm going to add it to my layer. Maybe I'll add it in the chain link that was open between these two. The Simplicity chain is it's delicate, but it's soldered, so it's sturdy, but it is small. There it goes, right in there. And I'm gonna close it up here, back and forth. And you want to make sure not only that it's closed this way, but that it's closed from the top to the bottom. So you kind of have to look at it at all angles. Sorry, it's a little out of my field of vision. Sorry, I'm not in frame. But again, I chose these tiny things to work with, so it's my own darn fault today. So see how I'm starting to cascade here with all of these kind of little luscious bits, right? Okay. And then I'll add those other ones. I'm going to go a little bit faster now so we can actually see a finished earring. So I'm going to repeat. I'm going to open up this. Sorry, I'm going to try and keep my hands in view here. Open this up. Scoop it on. Sometimes it also helps. I wanted to show you this. I'm looking at the one I'm going to put it in. Since these are soldered, you can kind of open them up a little bit with your awl if you feel like that helps. Sometimes it rounds it up a little bit, especially if I'm using a jump ring on something on chain that's a little too big. I just round that loop up with my awl and it rounds it up nicely. Gosh, what is my problem today? Sorry. I just turned 54 and now my eyes are not cooperating. Let me scoop it. Scoop that link, Richburg. Get it. Get her. There we go. And close it up. Again, that bent chain is like a little tiny pair of fingers that closes it up, right? Let me get that 4mm. Where did she go? She's over here. Open her up. Scoop that chain link through my sheer willing that link to go on there. Let me see if I can isolate it. It's that one I want. Agonizing, I know. There we go. For me too. Boom. Okay. I love that Kim said, don't eat while watching me. You just ate too much caramel corn. Right? It's like we're at the movies, right? Sounds good to me. I'm down with that. Maybe that leaf can go up in there. Maybe I want 2 leaves. But, you know, I already know the answer to this already. I just want 1 leaf for the anchor. I don't want another leaf up in here. I just don't. So I'm going to pass on it. But I do want some more of these little teardrops. So I think I'm going to put 3 of them, okay, on. All right. And here we go. And let me scoop one of these. Oh, you guys are really nice. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. Sometimes these little tiny ones just pose a little bit more of a challenge. And if they're just slightly out of your focal working range, that also gives you some grief. You know, when I had my store up in San Francisco and I taught a lot of classes in person, you know, I would teach an earring class like almost once a week, right? Earrings were a big deal. And I would teach wire wrapping and, you know, the opening and closing of the loops and all that stuff. And sometimes the ladies who were there, because I was younger then, they were there and they were putting their earrings and stuff together or wire wrapping, and they're like, oh, I just can't see. And I would get so impatient, you know. I'd be like, what do you mean you can't see? Come on now. But, you know, I was a lot younger. And my eyes were still really good. So now I'm paying for that. I'm paying for my impatience because it's harder and harder to see with these little loops. But good light, and we have some really good light here in the studio, so that always helps, right? So I'm going to lay this down. It looks a little like the dog's breakfast, kind of laying out here, but if I kind of get the awl and I kind of pull everything into place, and I really kind of like the way that this little bauble is sitting here down in front on this leaf. I'm trying to arrange it so it makes a pretty picture, right? So it's all set there. So it's a nice little cascade. You can attach, you know, there's still plenty of room here. I could add a couple more. I still have 4 head pins here, so I could make 4 more pieces and attach them here. But let's go ahead and attach the ear wire, okay? And I'm going to see if it goes. I want it to attach to this loop right here, okay? So I'm going to come in and cut away my extra chain. And it's an empty link. There's nothing in it. I'm going to be extremely careful and clip that link so I don't clip the one below it. Now, these ear wires, I want to show you these. These ear wires are great, and they open and close. There's a little opening and closing right here on the lever back. Now, anytime you open and close loops on an ear wire, these have been work hardened so that the loops stay closed, right? Stay closed. And so the metal will fatigue if you open and close these loops all the time, right? You just want to be very careful to just open it once. Open it big enough so that it opens nicely. Then grab your link. I've got it here. I'm going to round it. I'm going to round it up just a little bit with my awl. You don't want to be too aggressive with that because you don't want to split your link open, but these are soldered. So that's a little trick that I do sometimes to open up that link. So can you see here how I've grabbed the link with my bent chain? And it goes on there just perfectly. And I could hear that little snap, how it closed. And that's all she wrote. It looks pretty nice, I think, if I do say so. But of course, you know what I did? Well, no, I can just flip it around. I was going to say I put it on backwards, but let me just flip that bauble back around. I can also see if I wanted to add any more bauble up at the top. I could, you know, add another one of these guys on there. I'm wondering, I don't want to, twice is probably all you want to open these loops. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put the teardrop on, and then I'm going to put this chain back on. Because, you know, obviously, I have not pre-designed these before this show. Oops, get on there. That's a cute little earring just on its own. Tiny, tiny little lever back with those tiny little drops on, right? Not bad. So here's that. They both go in. Close it up. And this loop, I know it's hard for you to see on film, on camera here, but this loop is thick, so it'll open back and forth a couple of times. You just have to be really careful and really super mindful. I love how that little link with the baubles captured, I love how it looks up there. I really like it. So there it is. I'll have to make the other one, so I'll snap a photo. Drea has the page done already, so she will she'll just add the photo right there, and they're called, surprisingly enough, Autumn Cascade Earrings. Let me click over on the list that I did, but you can also see it right on beadshop.com. You can find all of the ingredients, right? And Monica, it's a great question. I think they're just falling. Monica, what she asked was, so those of you on YouTube can hear, she said, why do you have most of the larger beads on the same side? Well, I think when I put it down, it kind of came out that way, but as I hold it up, you can see that they kind of go back and forth. Though you're right, this rondelle right here, that 5mm, I don't love it on that side, so I'll probably take it off and put it over there on the other side there as well, so it's a little more balanced, right? So good eye. Okay, so but you can decide, and again, they cascade so much that there's a lot of movement to them, so I wouldn't sweat it too much. I'm trying to lay them out to have a pretty picture for you here, but anyway, you can kind of see how that works, how that's working out. Okay, so here's from the kit. Right here, the Crystal Cascade. As I said, there's still some available at September 18th. Our kits don't last that long, our kits and our mixes, but they are around, so you can pop right on over to Bead Shop and check it out. Or, again, perfect stash diving with this Cascade. And it's a great look, I think, for fall. So there you have it, right there. So that's my story, you guys. I'm going to click right over here and say a big thank you for watching. You can go right over to our website, beadshop.com, for more information on the project and the products from this broadcast. Sign up for our newsletter so you can get all the latest discounts and giveaways and new products, all that kind of good stuff that's happening. Drea, real quick, asked me, did I do a rosary loop or a wire wrap? I did a rosary loop. There's no wire wrapping here, though you could wire wrap it too if you wanted. And do remember, you guys, if you're watching this later, especially on our YouTube channel, right below us there is the thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs up under the video, we really, really appreciate it. It helps more people find these tutorials, and in turn helps more people find beadshop.com. And we really, really, really appreciate every single order that comes across our desk. We would not be here without you guys. So thank you very much. Next week, I have a little hybrid project that I've been working on. It's going to be a wrap bracelet. I think you're going to love it. I hope you will. I love it already. I've got a lot of it done, so we'll see how much I get done before the show. You never know. But again, thank you for all of your heartfelt, kind words and wishes. if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's all kinds of great tutorials and stuff that we have on here. You know, we've been doing this since 1982, so we've got a lot of knowledge. Not this, but beads. You know what I'm saying. So thank you ever so. Remember that thumbs up right below the video screen. If you click that, we'd really, really appreciate it. And I will see all y'all on Wednesday. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear your masks. We're getting through this, you guys. So thanks so much. See you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.